Imagine losing everything you've worked for, not to fate, not to chance, but to someone who thrives on deception. Globally, scams and financial abuse cost victims trillions of dollars every year. It's not just money, it's trust, security, and the very sense of reality. And the most disturbing part, the perpetrators often don't look like criminals. They could be your banker, a charming influencer, or even a trusted family member. By the end of this, you'll understand the hidden dark impulses of human behavior, why people exploit trust so efficiently, and how ordinary minds can be manipulated into surrendering everything they thought was secure. Because in the world of scam economies, trust is the most valuable currency and the most dangerous weapon. I'm Haris. You're watching Haris Psyche, where dark psychology meets disturbing human behavior. Once you see how deception hides in plain sight, you'll never look at money, trust, or opportunity the same way again. Scams and financial abuse are more than simple theft. They are a window into the darkest corners of human psychology, where greed, manipulation, and trust collide. The people behind these schemes are not always violent or overtly criminal. They are skilled observers of human behavior, exploiting vulnerabilities with precision. A friendly voice on the phone, a convincing email, or a too-good-to-be-true investment, all carefully designed to bypass logic and tap directly into fear, hope, and desire. Victims are often intelligent, cautious individuals, but intelligence does not protect against emotional exploitation. When the promise of security, wealth, or opportunity is presented alongside urgency or social pressure, the mind can shut down reasoning and hand over control and money willingly. In this investigation, we'll explore the most common scams, from call centers and Ponzi schemes to online frauds that steal identities in seconds. We'll examine the psychology of victims, why people fall for scams repeatedly, even when warned, and how trust and fear are weaponized. And we'll uncover global patterns, the hidden economies where scams operate internationally, transferring trillions of dollars while exploiting legal loopholes and digital anonymity. Financial abuse is not always obvious. It can hide behind polite emails, sleek websites, and persuasive charm. It can masquerade as opportunity, philanthropy, or even love. And once the mind is entangled, the consequences go beyond money. Self-doubt, shame, and a lingering sense of betrayal often follow. By the end, you'll see how these predators operate with surgical precision and how ordinary people are manipulated into surrendering everything they thought was secure. Because in the world of scam economies, trust is the most valuable currency and the most dangerous weapon. Scams don't always arrive with sirens or threats. Sometimes they arrive as polite phone calls, sleek emails, or exclusive investment opportunities. Call center scams, for example, prey on fear and urgency. A friendly voice claims to be from a bank or government agency, warning of overdue taxes or suspicious activity. The instructions are simple: verify your account, transfer funds, or provide personal information. One woman, convinced her savings were at risk, followed the instructions to the letter, losing her entire retirement fund in minutes. The caller's tone was calm, reassuring, almost human, until it wasn't. Ponzi schemes operate differently, but no less destructively. They promise high returns with minimal risk, often using the first wave of investors' money to pay off later participants. Bernie Madoff's decades-long operation defrauded thousands of people, some of whom invested not just money, but their trust and family savings. Victims often clung to the hope of recovery, rationalizing red flags for years because admitting the truth was too painful. Online frauds are faster, cleaner, and invisible. Phishing emails, fake e-commerce sites, and cryptocurrency scams can strip someone of thousands in seconds. Hackers exploit not only technical vulnerabilities, but emotional ones. A fear of missing out, desire for quick wealth, or trust in a convincing persona. In one case, a young entrepreneur transferred funds to an investor who promised early access to a tech launch, only to discover the account emptied, the website vanished, and the emails permanently deleted. But what's coming next is even more disturbing. Because the real power of these scams isn't just the deception itself, it's the psychology of the victims. Why do intelligent, cautious people fall for scams repeatedly? Why do red flags get ignored? The answer lies in emotional manipulation. Scammers exploit cognitive biases, the desire for quick gain, fear of loss, and social proof, the belief that others would never lie about an opportunity. They create urgency, confusion, and dependency. By the time logic intervenes, the mind is already tangled. Consider a retired teacher who fell victim to multiple online investment scams over 5 years. Each time she vowed never to trust again. Yet when presented with a convincing email or a referral from a trusted source, she acted immediately. It wasn't ignorance, it was the brain's survival response, wanting certainty, comfort, and control in a world that feels increasingly unpredictable. Scammers exploit hope and the human need to regain what's been lost, turning resilience into repeated vulnerability. Psychologists call this the illusion of control. Victims believe they can manage risk, negotiate outcomes, or reverse losses. In reality, every interaction is carefully designed to erode autonomy and amplify trust in the wrong person. And here's the chilling truth. It's not just about money alone. It's about power, influence, and exploiting the most intimate parts of human psychology: fear, greed, trust, and hope. As we move forward, the next layer to uncover isn't just how scams operate. It's how global networks leverage these behaviors to create entire economies built on deception. Because the real victims aren't just losing money, they're losing certainty, security, and a fundamental sense of trust in the world. Scam economies are not random. They are sophisticated global networks designed to exploit trust, emotion, and technology on a massive scale. From call centers in distant countries to online fraud rings operating across continents, these operations are highly coordinated. Money flows invisibly, often passing through multiple accounts, shell companies, and cryptocurrency wallets. Legal systems struggle to keep up, creating loopholes that predators exploit with impunity. In one case, a single Ponzi scheme spanning 3 continents defrauded thousands of investors. Emails came from the United States, bank transfers went through Europe, and the call center operated out of Asia. Victims had no single authority to turn to, no jurisdiction to enforce accountability. Every layer of the scam was designed to isolate, confuse, and make recovery nearly impossible. Psychologically, global scam networks function because they leverage the same vulnerabilities over and over: fear, hope, urgency, and social trust, but magnify them across borders. The larger the network, the harder it is for victims to discern reality from illusion. And the more international the operation, the more invisible and untouchable it seems. Now I'll tell you the darkest secret. Prevention is not just about spotting scams. It's about understanding the psychology behind them and protecting your mind as much as your wallet. Red flags are often subtle: unsolicited contact, pressure to act immediately, promises that seem too good to be true, and requests for secrecy. Protective strategies include verifying independently, pausing before responding, documenting communications, and seeking external advice from trusted sources. Technology can help. Secure payment methods, authentication apps, and fraud alerts. But awareness is the most powerful defense. Consider the case of a young professional targeted by an international investment scam. He received what appeared to be a legitimate offer through LinkedIn, backed by glowing testimonials and official-looking documents. Instead of sending money immediately, he cross-checked licenses, contacted regulatory authorities, and discussed the opportunity with mentors abroad. By staying vigilant and questioning every element, he avoided what could have been a devastating loss. But vigilance alone is not enough. Scammers adapt quickly, using emerging platforms, cryptocurrencies, and AI-generated communications to appear credible. Every system, every app, every interaction can become a vector for manipulation. The cycle of deception evolves faster than many legal or personal safeguards. The connection between all these behaviors will shock you. From individual manipulation to global networks, from emotional exploitation to financial engineering, it's all part of a single human pattern. Predators identify vulnerabilities, amplify them, and exploit them relentlessly. Fear, greed, hope, trust, all become levers in a machine designed to extract everything from the unwary. And the most unsettling truth, the same psychological tendencies that scammers exploit in financial systems also appear in relationships, workplaces, and even politics. Anywhere trust is built, manipulation can take root. Anywhere hope exists, predators can thrive. By the end, one question remains. How do you defend not just your money, but your mind against people who profit from exploiting the very instincts that make us human? Because in the world of scam economies, survival depends not on luck, but on understanding the darkness behind human behavior. Scam economies and financial abuse reveal a chilling truth about human behavior. Deception is not random. It's calculated, adaptive, and deeply psychological. We've explored common scams from call centers and Ponzi schemes to online frauds and seen how predators exploit fear, hope, and trust to extract everything from their victims. We examined why intelligent people fall repeatedly for the same tricks, how emotional vulnerabilities override logic, and how even caution can be weaponized. And we uncovered the global patterns, networks spanning continents, moving money invisibly and operating in legal blind spots, turning trust into a commodity and human psychology into a tool. The lessons are unsettling but essential. Manipulation doesn't always wear a mask of obvious threat. It can appear as charm, opportunity, authority, or even kindness. And the line between risk and reality is often blurred until it's too late. Next time you see manipulative behavior, whether in financial dealings, relationships, or workplaces, remember these patterns hidden in human psychology. Pressure, urgency, isolation, and carefully engineered trust are the levers that predators use again and again. Awareness, skepticism, and intentional reflection are the only defenses. And the most chilling truth, the same instincts that make us trusting, hopeful, and cooperative, the traits that allow society to function, are the traits that scammers exploit. Human nature itself can be weaponized. In the next video, we'll dive into psychopathy in everyday life and uncover even darker truths about the human mind, how charm, manipulation, and emotional predation operate not just in scams, but in the lives of people around us every day.